Almost every recipe that I use calls for some sort of an onion because that's where all the flavor is. It's the start of everything delicious. So how to cut an onion. I'm Susie with themediterraneandish.com. I have my amazing friend, Chef Laura King, who is a renowned culinary instructor here in the Atlanta, Georgia area. Chef Laura will show us our way around a knife and an onion.
Perfect.
All right,
Yes.
take it away.
The onion, of course, grows above ground or underground?
Under.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I got it.
This part is actually the stems that come up above the ground.
Right.
And then this part, of course, is underneath and
Okay.
the roots. So when you look at it that way, it does help you know how to cut it first. A lot of people just start cutting the ends off and then peeling it.
Right.
But what you really want to do is go ahead and get that flat surface. So we're going to cut from the top down to the bottom. So I'm going to steady it with my claw hand. I'm going to come through.
And again, for safety, the claw is to avoid slicing your finger. pretty much,
Exactly.
right?
You're just really trying to steady it so that you can bring your knife through the top,
Okay.
all the way
Got it.
to the bottom of your onion and
Okay.
come all the way through. And then you're dealing with two halves. So we're going to take this top off here, and then we can come through and we can take the peel
Oh my
off
gosh,
here.
how easy is that?
Right. And what you want to do with your chef's knife is, again, we're steadying it with our claw hand, 2 fingers on the board, 3 here. We're going to make our slices this direction. We're going to come through the onion about 1/4 inch above the cutting board, and I'm going to cut.
Yeah, you're not going half. You're just
Right.
like, you're still below, yeah.
Exactly,
Okay.
but look, I'm not coming all the way to the end of my onion either. I'm
No.
just going about 3/4 of the way.
Oh,
And then I'm going to
okay.
pull it out. I'm going to come up another 1/4 inch, and I'm going to come
Wow.
3/4 of the way.
I do not cut my onion this way, you guys.
And then I'm going to do it one more time,
Alright, yeah.
3/4 of the way.
How easy is that? That's so simple, okay?
Finally, we're going to go the opposite direction.
Because you're trying to get a dice.
I'm trying to get a dice. So now I'm going to come here, and again, hold it kind of so that your onion, and then I'm going to pull down on the board. 1/4 inch, pull down. 1/4 inch, pull down. Again, I'm not going all the way to the end of my
you're
onion.
keeping it intact.
Keeping it intact because an onion has a ton of layers, as we know, and it's 1/4 inch all the way.
All right.
We go back to what we know, point down on the board,
Point and rock. Point and rock.
and we're going to come through our onion,
Oh my gosh.
and you will have symmetric.
Magic.
So, you know, one of the other things a recipe may call for is, like if you're going to do stir fry and you didn't want to small dice it.
Right.
And maybe you want to do a julienne. We have the half of our onion with the roots here and the top here. We're going to cut the top off, and then that way we can peel it.
Okay.
I'm going to take my point and I'm going to actually angle it and come in at the side here. And I'm going to slice.
Check that out. Some new tricks.
And I'm going to just keep coming around. Again, I have my claw hand.
Yeah.
You can then turn it
Yeah.
here, and you can come back and do the same
To
thing.
give yourself a little more leverage is what you're trying to do. Okay. Awesome.
And once you get through, then you can divide these up, and then you have
like
your-
little half moons. Oh,
little half
okay.
moons for a stir
Yeah,
fry.
Yeah. If a recipe just simply calls for sliced onion, what
Yes.
does that look like? How do you?
So same thing, you know, consider how it's grown, and you want to definitely cut off the top and get it peeled. We're going to take off the top,
Okay.
and we're going to take off the bottom.
Okay.
Straight through. And again, I'm holding it very firm so it doesn't wobble on
Roll,
me.
yeah.
Right. And then I'm going to come in and, of course, peel
Just
it
do the peel,
very
okay.
quickly. You're basically just going to take your point down. The point down steadies your knife. If
Yeah.
you don't have it, then you're wobbly. Not
Right.
only is the vegetable wobbly, but
Right.
your knife is wobbly.
And it's not safe for you.
Exactly. So if I point down, then I can also come in and make a little bit more symmetric slices.
Right.
But once you get a symmetric slice, then of course you can divide it
Pop them
up
up.
and pop these out. And you have the small pieces, or you have these beautiful pieces that you could set on a salad. So the shallot works really well if you're not going to cook it, but you can also cook it maybe for a delicate sauce or something that you just don't want that really strong onion taste to it. For maybe you're doing a salad, you might do a very tiny small dice, which is called a brunoise. We would approach it just like we would the onion. So what we would do is we would cut it from the top to the bottom. It's tiny, so you can turn it on its side, and you will cut it this way, from the top to the bottom, how it grows. And then that way you get the two halves, right? We have this flat surface. We're able to cut the top off and then just peel the shallot. Oops. I will start with, of course, my claw to steady the shallot, and then I will raise my knife about 1/4 of an inch.
And
bring
have
it up.
at it, yeah.
Raise it another 1/4 of an inch, and then finally
One more.
And then I will come through, holding it together.
And it's still kind of intact.
It is intact
Yeah.
because I kept this also on here.
Right.
And then I'm able to kind of come through
And do the small dice.
and do
up
the
there,
tiny
yeah.
brunoise.
Oh, how beautiful is that? It's so beautiful, I'm crying. And there you go. And that is how to slice and dice an onion for all sorts of recipes. Chef Laura, thank you so much.
This is fun.
Please give us a thumbs up or a comment for this video. Share it with your friends, and of course subscribe and follow this channel for more delicious videos. And all the recipes are on themediterraneandish.com.